U.S. have what it takes to go all the way in the World Cup? Half of America thinks so. 50% of U.S. residents say America will win the World Cup this year. This according to a Nielsen poll. The journey to the final begins today for Team USA as they take on England. For a closer look at that much-anticipated game, I'm joined by Sportswriter Dave Zirin. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Alex.
What do you think of this half of Americans who think the U.S. will win the whole thing? Do we have a good chance at it?
As the Daily Show said, the United States soccer is still the clown college of international football. I think half of America is certifiable if they think the United States has a chance to win the entire World Cup. But that being said, it's not that outlandish to think that they could have an incredible performance today and upset the three Lions of Britain. Okay,
so if that happens, look, it's just one game at a time, as you well know. At what point could this take off in the U.S. and become a phenomenon, the game of soccer?
Oh, it absolutely could. I mean, I think it's one of the great lies, or the great myths, if you will, that the U.S. somehow rejects soccer. I mean, it is the #1 youth sport among boys. It's the #1 sport among young girls. It's the only, really, country in the world, they say, that can draw 50,000 people to what's known as a friendly in a major city, and that's a game without any real impact on the standings. I mean, you can draw tens of thousands of people out, and you're going to see it today in Washington, D.C., in DuPont Circle. They're putting up huge flat-screen televisions for people to just come out on the street and watch the World Cup games, and they're expecting that to be absolutely packed. And when you also factor in the growing multicultural character of the United States, I mean, you go out on the weekends in New York City or Washington, D.C., you don't see people in the parks playing baseball. You see them playing soccer.
Yeah, you know, it's true. It's a lot different than it was 60 years ago when the U.S. beat by just one goal, the 1-0 score there in that game when they beat England. But I'm thinking, you're right, the kid factor. Do you think because of that, all the kids now are playing soccer? Do you think it has some staying power and will catch on? I mean, what's your best guess? How long will it take?
The United States loves winners. That's a factor about why it's not more popular on a commercial level. And it's difficult to cut from soccer matches to commercial breaks. So it's a far more difficult sport to monetize, which also makes it something that makes it more difficult for networks to pick up on. But look, this is a country of 300 million people, and as better talent is produced over the generations, you're going to see more interest in the sport itself as the United States advances on the international scene. And let's remember, for today against England, about half of the U.S. players now play in Europe during the year. And the United States goalie, a gentleman by the name of Tim Howard, is considered the best goalie in the entire English Premier League. That's very different from even a decade ago. So by the mere fact that so many players are playing in Europe, it's creating a greater parity, and it's what gives the United States, honestly, a puncher's chance against a heavily favored British team.
Okay, so what do you think? What's your best guess for today? Predict an outcome.
The United States will win 2-2.
Really? Okay, wait, that's not a win, that's a tie.
A tie? No, a tie is a win. You have to trust me on this.
Okay.
A tie is a win.
All right, we got it. Thank you, Dave Zirin, for that.
Thank you.